Hi there. This is the first mini lecture, though actually it's just going to be instructions and a walk through the syllabus and so forth in the books. For E363K, Classic to Romantic. I don't like that title. I think it should be called Classic and Romantic, and so that's the way I have it on my syllabus. But it'll appear as Classic to Romantic in the course catalog and so forth. In any case, I'm trying out my new studio here, which is basically my office at home, because I don't plan on coming into UT very often. And what I'd like you to do is, if you have your syllabus in front of you, I'm just going to walk you through the syllabus and show you the books along the way, and then maybe talk to you a little bit about your first reading assignment that will be sent out in the announcement that will also have the link for this mini lecture or video, whatever it is. In any case, if you take a look at your syllabus, just start at the top and look at the text. I'm going to show you the text. Okay, to begin with, all of the texts for the first maybe, well, I don't know, almost 3 weeks, possibly longer, of the course are supplied by me. I will send them to you as PDFs. Some of them may be links. I'm not quite sure which ones I want to use yet. And so basically you've got a free ride on those. The first book that you will have to buy is, it's not on the correct order there. The first book you will need to buy and use, though I buy it now, is this one called The Travels of Hildebrand Bowman, and it's edited by me. The next one up, let me check here, make sure I've got it in the right order, is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Both of these editions are Broadview editions. You can buy them in hard copy form from the Broadview website, also from the co-op, but I think you get a better deal from Broadview. But also the Broadview site has electronic versions. I would really like you to have these editions if at all possible, because then we'll all be on the same page when you're citing things from those works. Next up is the big one, another Broadview text. It's the Age of Romanticism anthology. And it's an expensive one, but again, look at the electronic possibilities, and they on Broadview, and they might be a lot cheaper. And finally, Frankenstein. Some of you may own this book, maybe not this edition. I would prefer you have this edition, but again, if you have another one, the main thing you need to be sure of is that it's the 1818 text, because Mary Shelley in the 1830s revised it and really changed it a lot. So there are actually 2 different versions of Frankenstein. This is the one you want, 1818. So if you're using a different edition, check and make sure that it's, I mean, like a penguin or whatever it is, check and make sure that it is 1818, not I think 1831 or 1832, which is obviously significantly later. In any case, those are the books that you will eventually need, but I would get them now. I want to turn now to the syllabus per se. We've gone through the texts. So let's go to the summaries. The main thing about this course, and I will continue to repeat this throughout, is you need to read the works. That's the most important thing. If I disappeared from the face of the earth tomorrow and you read all the works, you would have gotten 75% out of this course, what you're supposed to get out of the course. On the other hand, if you don't read the works, but you just read my commentaries and listen to my mini lectures, you'll learn about 25%, or maybe nothing, because you won't have read the works. So the prime directive here is read the works. To make sure that you do read the works, you're going to be writing a lot of what I call reading summaries. These will not take long to do. I don't think they should take more than 15 minutes. If you've read the work, you're writing a summary of that assignment for that day, that part of the work. Obviously, it's not going to be for an entire novel. It certainly could be for an entire poem or part of a poem. In any case, if you look at my description of the summaries on the syllabus, half page should be general summary of the reading for that day. Second half should have at least three questions, complaints, things that really made you mad, things that really made you happy. It's up to you. You can go off on something if you want to, it's fine. In any case, should not take you long. They must be submitted to me by email, and the address above, as it says, by 11 a.m. on the due date. Late summaries lose 1 point out of a possible 2. Memos, these are more formal assignments. They're not quite full-fledged essays. They are 2-page, double-spaced position papers based on a question, a topic, an issue that I will give you and that you will need to write on. I will usually assign it 1 or 2 days, meaning class days, before the due date. They must also be submitted to me by 11 a.m. on the due date. They're graded on a 20-point scale, and they lose 5 points per day late. Now, I will talk more about the first memos when we get to the first memo, but these I will be grading for grammar, spelling, and so forth. But they do not have to be perfectly executed the way I would expect a formal 5-page paper or even your exams to be done. Midterm essay exam. This is not an in-class essay with a blue book. Obviously, we're not in class. It's a 3-page essay based again on a topic. That is to say, it's longer than a memo. It's more formal than a memo. It's open book, open notes, open anything you've got, and write it up for me. That will be graded more stringently yet, again, with regard to grammar, spelling, diction, the whole works. Final essay exam, same thing, all over again, but 4 pages. Requirements in grading: 10 one-page reading summaries at 1% each, that makes 10%. 4 2-page memos at 10% each, makes 40%. Midterm exam, 20%. And final essay exam, 30%. All right. On the syllabus, even though we're asynchronous, which means there is no time, we're somehow lost in the limbo of timeless space, it's set up like a Tuesday, Thursday course. So your due dates are going to be Tuesdays or Thursdays, except for the final essay exam. But don't worry about that now. I'll run you through the syllabus quickly because obviously you can read. This is the video of the introduction to the course on the 26th, though I'm making it on, whoops, that's not right, that should be the 27th, I'll change that, because we're starting on the 27th, not the 26th. In any case, then moving on to September 1st is classic to romantic values. That'll be another mini lecture that I put up, and your first work, which is essay on criticism, which I will be sending to you, again, probably attached to the announcement on Canvas. And do consult the Canvas page. I'm going to be jazzing it up with a little more stuff than I usually do. I've already got the syllabus up there in various colors, so I'm going to have to go in and change that first date. And you will also have a summary due on that day, on a specific part of essay on criticism, not the whole thing. I will just tell you right now, you won't like the essay on criticism much, maybe a few of you will, and you probably will have a little bit of trouble summarizing it, but go for it. I want you to show me you have read it. That's the main reason we have summaries. In any case, We will continue with essay and criticism on the 3rd and go into another poem of Pope's called Epistle to Burlington. There will be a lot of pictures, photos attached to this one. I'll be sending those to you on Canvas. I'm going to speed up because I don't want to keep you here all day. Then we go to Rasselas by Samuel Johnson. Again, will be excerpts from Rasselas. I will send them to you. Preface to Shakespeare by Johnson. Discourses on Art by Sir Joshua Reynolds. Again, this is going to be visual rich, and I will be sending those visuals to you. Thomas Gray, Elegy Written in the Country Churchyard. Here we're moving away from classicism, which is represented in this course primarily by Pope, Johnson, and Reynolds, and into what is called sensibility, represented by Gray and to a degree by Burke, certainly by Goldsmith. Reading two of the most famous sensibility poems, Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard and The Deserted Village. You will also see that your first memo dropped in back on the 8th, and it was due a number, actually. Well, no. And then, sorry, got that wrong. Skipped down there. Epistle to Burlington, memo 1 due, and then we have 2 days, and then you've got another memo due. What I didn't put in here was the day the memo was assigned, but I will be assigning them, obviously, about a day before they are due. Onward we go, more summaries, and then we move to the first novel, Travels of Hildebrand Bowman. Kind of a weird little book, nobody reads it, but it's kind of interesting. It's based on an incident in Captain Cook's voyages to the South Pacific, specifically in New Zealand. And I just want to kind of go global, because usually in a course like this, people are talking about global events. They're only talking about the events in England. Then Sense and Sensibility, which kind of sums up the course. Sense and Sensibility is another way of saying classic to romantic. We'll read that for a long time. Jane Austen, some of you presumably read it already. Then the midterm. Then we get into the big anthology and we start doing the romantics. We do Wordsworth, we do more Wordsworth, we do Coleridge, we do Wordsworth again, more Coleridge, Keats, lots of Keats. Gotta love Keats. Eve of St. Agnes as an example of the Gothic. That's going to be visually rich as well. And then Frankenstein, which I assume a number of you have read already. And then finally on Monday the 7th, you will have the final essay exam due. That is to say, I will hand it out probably on the 3rd during our last class period. So you'll have a long time to write it, like 5 days or 4 days over a weekend. In any case, that's the run through. Now I'm worried that my calendar is off and this entire syllabus is off, but I think it's only that first day. I'll check it, and if not, I will send you a revised syllabus. Let me think if there's anything else. I think really that's all that you need to know for today. I will say this about the Pope, which again I will be assigning to you in the announcement. Try to read it not jangling or rhyming the rhyme couplets. Don't read it. True wit is nature to advantage dressed, what oft was thought but ne'er so well expressed, because you'll hypnotize yourself and go to sleep and fall off the couch. Go, true wit is nature to advantage dressed, what oft was thought but ne'er so well expressed. Read it like a sentence, then it makes sense. If you jingle and jangle it, you're dead. In any case, I will be sending probably another mini lecture to help you read this thing before the next class period on Tuesday, because you've got a long time, and I've got a long time to actually make another video. I think that may be it for today, and so I bid you a fond farewell, but I'll be back.